only thing that this movement really supposed to be doing is waking up what's dormant inside of you. If you find yourself looking outside of yourself, you in the wrong place. You signed up for the wrong things, because this ain't about worshiping no man, no woman, no child, none of that shit, no statues. This is really about waking up every morning or every rising and looking in the mirror and seeing a better version of yourself from the one that went to sleep the night before. You feel like that? So without any further ado, y'all, please put your hands together for Blue Pillar Boy Jordan.
That boy good.
Coincidence that the root word for God is gut. It's a German word that comes from the word gut. So there's no coincidence that the correlations to God is tied into food, right, or tied into the gut, because man can't sustain himself without access to food.
So we saw at the beginning of this year, they came out with the Epstein list, right? And again, it's like nothing is being hidden. What people do with the information is a whole nother thing, because they kind of showed you everybody's complicity, but everyone will talk about presidential politics and elections. I'm like, they had all them dudes on the island. Like, we still talking about this? Right? They was all caught, you know. It was all caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Right? But nobody want to talk about accountability and responsibility. And these people are supposed to be, you know, the people that make decisions in other people's lives. But here they go, tied in, you know, with a notorious sex trafficker. You know what I'm saying? This person in particular, if you from New York City, the old New York, you know what I'm saying? You know who Alan Dershowitz is, right? You know what sort of thorn in our people's sides he was. You feel me? And just to come to find out that he's a whole scumbag himself, right? So he's very heavy-handed on the minister in particular, but he got skeletons in his closet because he popped up in a lot of different of the Epstein situation, right? The state of Israel or the Zionists, they won't escape judgment this year, right? They're not going to escape judgment. Pluto and Aquarius. Aquarius is humanity, right? And Pluto was in Capricorn prior to that. Capricorn is structures and governments. So there's a lot of things that we saw built in the last 20 to 30 years that even if we wasn't 100%, because they were very systemic, it didn't sit well with us, but we couldn't really do nothing about it. They seen us marching, they seen us complaining. Now's not that type of energy. Pluto was in Aquarius, and that means the institutions, systems, and all of that stuff is going to be destroyed to be rebuilt. So things that previously protected these people is not going to protect them going forward. You're going to see a lot of people getting prosecuted and having to answer for their crimes against what? Humanity. Because now we are in the age of humanity, which is Aquarius, supported by Pluto, with its death and transformation, right? So these people are going to see their invincibility and their invisibility cloak removed. Because these people want to operate in a way in which you can't even mention their name. That's how invisible they want to be. Right in your face. You can't even say nothing positive about them. Right. You can't even be philo-Semitic. They're like, we don't want y'all saying our name, period. Right? That's not going to work no more. And this is the prophecy of the popes. They're saying this is the last pope. It's called the prophecy is about Peter the Roman and St. Francis Assisi, of who this particular pope is named after. His real name is Peter, Giovanni di Peter. So they're saying that this pope is going to be the last pope. There was a prophecy that was made in the 16th century about the prophecy of the popes and the prophecy of the last pope. So they're saying this particular pope that we're seeing now, who is they call him the woke pope, right? He's a very unpopular pope amongst Christians and Catholics because of the reforms, the progressive nature of this pope. Now, remember, all popes are astrologers and astrologists. So he's saying, I'm trying to get the church ready for Aquarian age, not the Piscean. And now they're having an internal struggle in the church because they don't want to change with the times. But the church as an institution is a Piscean creation. It was for the age of belief. It's not going to be the same for religion going into the age of no, the I know, which is Aquarius. It's going to be very tough for them to maintain a level of control and deception amongst the people because you know, Pluto and Aquarius is the evening of the playing fields. You know what I'm saying? This is when we all become equalized on the playing field. There's no big I's and little U's anymore. That stuff is going out the window. You know what I'm saying? And again, we can, if we want to, if we can attempt to see it through the personages of the people that are going to be in the public eye, look at the skirmishes that are taking place and look at what they're saying about the skirmishes, right? With Cat Williams, he was able to put all of them dudes in game, right? Because he tried to make it seem like they up here, they're part of the machine, right? They're part of, they with the good old boys, and I'm down here with the people, right? He created that level of juxtaposition and was able to sway the audience to say, yeah, they're not part of the community. They're not part of us, right? There's going to be a lot of that taking place. Ironically enough, they came up with this new picture of Uranus. And again, this is just them preparing us for Pluto and Aquarius, because Aquarius is ruled by the planet Uranus or Uranus, pause. Because they was talking about a lot of people's anus during the end of the year. They just was, right? So in mythology, in Greek mythology, Uranus or Uranus is considered to be heaven. This is called the kingdom of heaven, right? This is the kingdom of heaven. And if you notice, this is how they got these months lined up. So wintertime to me is the dark night of the soul, SoL spell, because this is about the sun in the sky when it goes through the underworld, right? And if you understand your connection to the sun, then you will understand the transformation that you're going through. But because we don't have a mythology, we don't get to talk like this. But we all got a sun inside of us called a solar plexus. And we got this melanin on us. And we took all of this time telling white folks how connected we was to the sun. But then you don't want to own it. So this is Scorpio, right? They say that that's where the devil comes from. They say the devil's a Scorpio, right? And Diddy's making it kind of like, you know what I'm saying? He's giving them more ammo than they need. Scorpio, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is Jupiter. Jupiter, Zeus. That's considered to be God. So that's the good guys, right? Capricorn is the devil. Even though they share a birthday with Jesus, we know more about the goat. That's Baphomet. That's the devil. That because of Saturn, right? And Saturn is the devil before the devil. Aquarius, Uranus, deals with kingdom. That's heaven. That's the good guys. Pisces is Hades. That's the underworld again, right? So this is the lineup, okay? This is why these winters be hella bumpy. You feel me? Because you're going through the dark night of the soul and you're going through your transformation. So you could come out on top when the spring comes and the glimmer of light comes and you come and emerge from the underworld, right? Do you come out with horns or not? We'll see. Right? So again, we need a Mamba mentality. Well, whatever it is that you decide that you're going to do with this year, right? Whatever you decide that you're going to do with these 366 days, because it's a leap year, you feel me? Whatever you decide to do, you got to utilize a Mamba mentality to do it. Means you got to just be so focused. You got to blank out, right? There was a book written by Kobe's conditioning coach, who was the same coach of Michael Jordan, called Relentless, right? And this coach shows you how to go past your threshold. Relentless is one of the best books that I've ever read. It's one of the books that transforms you as you read it, challenges you. You know what I'm saying? Are you a closer? You know, they got 3 different categories in terms of what sort of team player are you. You know, and it's important to know that for yourself. Okay? And again, one of the most important observations about January 1st is that it is the day that the Sirius is the closest, well, it's directly above our planet. So again, I ask my people, well, who are you? if we had a mythos and we understood our mythos, then we'd be like, damn, well, if Sirius is our mother, if that's Isis, if that's all set, if I come from Sirius, then I'm gonna be on my best behavior when mama's, here checking in. What we doing? We got automatic weapons shooting at her. Bitch. She like, damn, why y'all so mad? Yeah, niggas another year in the cold. Right? You don't even know how to address when mama come around and we wonder why we got a year of bad luck. It's like you was shooting at mama. Let me see.
Earthquakes and tsunami warnings all over the world today, as not just Japan, but
So,
Hawaii, Alaska,
again,
California, Yellowstone, Montana, Indonesia, the Virgin Islands, El Salvador, New Mexico, Puerto Rico, Fiji, Russia, Texas, Chile, and the Northern Mariana Islands have all experienced earthquakes in the last 24 hours, as today, January 1st, 2024, the first day of the new year, it seems that the entire world is trembling. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the latest video footage so you can see it for yourself and the tsunamis that are pouring in. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. This all hitting on the first day of 2024. And like I said, I'm going to share with you the video footage so you can see it for yourself.
So again, it's easy to say, oh, the planet knew it was the first day of the new year and they wanted to signal in that, this is going to be a rocky year. But it's a lot more scientific to say, well, it was the day that Sirius was above the planet and the sun was the closest to the planet that it's going to be all year. Right? So this April 8th, this is really going to be the caveat of this year. This is going to set the pace for the next 20 years. And ironically, we won't have another solar eclipse on this country until when? No, after April. It won't be back until 2044. So there's only but so many ways that I can explain that this is a 44 year, right? Without embellishing and it's totally having to freestyle. So these are the different places in the country that you're going to be able to see this total solar eclipse. And what a total solar eclipse means is that if we outside and it's 1 p.m. and the sun is out at 1:05, nigga, the sun won't be out. And it will be dark. And everything that happens at night is going to happen during the day. So I experienced this in 2017 of August. I was in Mount Shasta, California, on the top of a mountain. And it was like 80 degrees. And then the sun went out and it was like 60 degrees. And all of the animals started acting crazy. And it was during the daytime. And all the insects started having sex. Dead ass. Like it was nighttime, right? And then the moon looked like the moon looked like it was mounting the sun. Like they were having sex. And then we had did a ceremony the night before with indigenous elders. They was not with it. They like, we're underneath the bed with the shades closed. They's like, we don't look at eclipses. It's an omen in their tradition. What do? We got a couch outside, rolled up. Looking at our mommy and our daddy. Huh? Okay. We looking at mom, because they was like looking at an eclipse is tantamount in their tradition to watching your mother and father have sex.
Wow. That's sacred.
Yeah. But we on the couch like parent porn. Oh. We watched it, y'all, right? And millions of other people participated. And the next day we got Hurricane Harvey. And we were not able to put one and two together, right? 1 trillion gallons of water dumped on the city in a few hours. Unprecedented. They said it was of biblical proportions, and they have not stopped having weather conditions for 7 years since. So ever since the last eclipse, we've had the craziest weather, right? From the forest fires to the hurricanes, to the superstorms, to the polar, vortexes. We heard concepts that we've never heard before. in these 7-year periods. And now it's coming up to another eclipse, and these eclipses will be crossing this country and making an X, because the other ones came this way last time. These are going to come this way. It's going to create an X over this country, and that energy is going to set a precedence, or like a shadow that's going to be cast for another 20 years into the next one, which will be 2044. So we're riding into Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius energy, coupled by the fact that it's going to be amplified by a total solar eclipse taking place on April 8th, which is 4 days after 4/4, but this is just 4/44/44.